Hello and welcome back to another Interpolar video. Today we are talking about this. The nor'easter is going to be making landfall in New England during the day today, and we're going to go over more of the finer details such as your timing and specific rain amounts. Yesterday we talked about this storm system and kind of the inconsistencies in the models when it comes to predicting this storm, but now that we are, let's say, in the midst of this event, we do have the track solidified, so let's talk timing. Here is the National Weather Service radar page, newly refreshed just in the past 18 months. So we can see here that onshore flow of moisture coming into areas such as Boston and Providence and Hartford. So major cities in the Northeast going to be getting some much needed rainfall. And here is this storm on satellite imagery. You can see that some areas just to the south and east of Nantucket starting to really pop up in terms of thunderstorm development. And as this storm continues to make its way to the north, we will continue to see this storm strengthen and then weaken. So we're going to be looking at two different models here. This is the NAM 3-kilometer model, and you can see here that we are currently, let's go to 5 a.m. 1,001 millibar low pressure system, as well as rainfall in parts of southeast Massachusetts, parts of Rhode Island, and then we also have some minor thunderstorms on the outskirts of this storm. Now by 6 a.m., really not much changes. The main thing here with the NAM 3-kilometer model is that the moisture itself doesn't go that far inland. Now, comparatively, on the HRRR, we'll see that become a little bit different, where the moisture will go a little bit further inland, but the main difference with that is that here with the NAM, those inland moisture bands are a little bit stronger. So you can see here in areas of western Connecticut, eastern New York, some thunderstorms on those outer bands as this storm continues to make its way to the north and strengthens all the way down to 1,000 millibars. And you can see here, most of the moisture is going to be light, but there are areas here with those more intense bands, especially as you get further north into Vermont, New Hampshire, and into Maine. And eventually, as this storm makes its way to the north, we'll see those more developed and mature looks of the storm. But we can see here that at 6 a.m., really not much going on. Some moderate to heavy rainfall in southeast Massachusetts and some light rainfall across the eastern seaboard of New England. We really don't see those outer bands start to hit areas such as Maine and those off spurts of the storm in New York and Connecticut until 11 a.m. when we do see some of those start to make landfall here in down east Maine. More specifically here at noon, you start to see those moderate to heavy bands starting to move on to the coastline, which is where most of Maine will get the primary portion of its rainfall. And then you can see these thunderstorms moving inland, that onshore flow really having an impact there, and we could see some thunderstorms sparking up here in Pennsylvania, New York, all the way down even into North Carolina. And as the storm makes its way further to the north, you can see consistent light to moderate rainfall here at 7 p.m. from Massachusetts all the way up into New Brunswick, Canada. But you can see some of those offshoots here, especially in eastern New York, parts of Maine, seeing some heavier rainfall. So you do have the option of having some more heavy rainfall. Not the option, but there's a chance of those heavier rain bands passing over where you are. But this storm does make landfall in Maine by 1 p.m. on Thursday, and as it does so, it is weakening very quickly and is basically done by late in the evening on Thursday Eastern Time. So overall, we're looking at some areas such as Nantucket and Cape Cod seeing over 2 inches of rainfall. Areas of down east Maine seeing over an inch of rainfall. But primarily, most of the region is going to be in that half an inch-ish range. You can see that some areas of the higher elevations, such as in New Hampshire and northern Maine, could be seeing those 2-inch amounts, but generally that half-inch amount on average is going to be the amount that you're going to get. You can see that the further west you go, the more consistent that gets, because most of the rainfall will be relying on those outer bands with the thunderstorms. So if you are lucky enough to get one of those bands of heavier rainfall, you will get more rain, of course, and that will help solve the drought situation. But the most definite areas that are going to get some drought help are in eastern Massachusetts and down east Maine in this scenario. You can see here as well that the winds on shore, especially in Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard, Cape Cod, could be up to tropical depression strength, but the storm quickly weakens into Maine and you really won't have any impacts there. Now, the HRRR does have this widespread light to moderate rainfall stretching further east or west. And you can see that those bands do still happen, but overall that light to moderate rainfall stretches very far into New York, even as far west as Watertown, New York. And you can see that the storm is a little bit broader. And you can see here as well that some of those stronger bands of rainfall are pushing a little further into Massachusetts and into Connecticut, where we have some of those 35 decibels compared to Z amounts there, which is about 1/4 inch of rainfall per hour. Now, this storm takes a little while longer to get into Maine, but on the western side of the low pressure system, you could see a little bit more rainfall. So instead of this scenario where we had most of the rainfall further east, in this scenario it's a little bit further west. You can see most of Maine in that 1/2 inch to 2-inch realm, and basically all of Massachusetts, parts of Connecticut and Rhode Island around that 1 to 2-inch range. Now, we'll also be seeing a little bit more wind on shore of Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard, and Nantucket in this scenario, since the whole storm is shifted a little bit further to the west. So I hope you found this useful. If you did, consider leaving a like, subscribing, and hitting the bell so you don't miss any more weather updates. But that is all I have for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.